Neckbeard has a thing for everything German, posted by user slash a useless German. Hey, so this is my first ever post on Reddit, so I'm sorry if it's not the best, and I'm sorry if it's not the right subreddit for this. Some background: I'm a 17-year-old girl and a junior in high school. I am from Germany and I moved to the US when I entered middle school, so I had a pretty thick accent when this was going on. Last year I don't have as thick of an accent anymore because of a year straight of intense speech therapy to get rid of it. It was a personal choice. It was quite obvious I was German, and I didn't hide the fact. Most people flocked to me because of my accent, and I really appreciated anyone who tried to learn about my culture back home, except this one guy. He rode and still rides my bus, and for a long time I didn't really acknowledge his existence because I always kept my headphones in. He is kinda chubby and has very, very patchy facial hair. I've looked over a few times to see what he listens to music-wise, and every time it has always been an anime OST. One day I forgot my headphones at home, so I took the commute to school just staring out the window and listening into conversations around me, when I heard someone mention Germany. Of course I got excited and looked around to figure out who was talking, and it was him. For simplicity's sake, I'm going to call him Derek. He was a loner and only liked to argue. I'm not sure if he has friends, and I'm not sure if he goes out of his way to get any. Now, I have heard Derek talk on a few occasions, so it came as a shock when he started talking in this very posh and obviously fake British accent. That is not how he sounded any other time I overheard him around school. He was debating with some other kid about German pronunciation, and this made me excited to see how bad they will butcher my language. The word they were debating was Deutschland, aka Germany. It's pronounced like Deutschland, but Derek insisted it was pronounced like Deutschland. I can understand if one thought, oh, it's satire, he's making fun of the language. Oh no, he was being dead serious, so I decided to pipe up and say the correct way. I felt like I was the best person to actually do so.
Actually, it's pronounced like Deutschland.
No, it is not. I've been studying German. This is the way it is pronounced.
Well, I can promise you it's not.
He cut me off before I could continue. Yeah, and where did you hear that? I've watched many history documentaries and I know I'm correct. Listen, like I said, I had a very heavy accent. It was more than obvious that I am German.
Well, I am German. I lived in Stuttgart. This is the way I was taught when learning German, my mother tongue.
He looked at me dead in the eyes and said, well, you were taught wrong. Another time the bus was filled and I could not find a place to sit. So I had to sit next to him, and my god, that was a terrible experience. He had such bad body odour, and every time he lifted his arm to adjust his headphones, I would almost puke. He took his headphones off and introduced himself to me. I do not know if he remembered our last conversation or not. He asked my interests, and he paid half attention and started telling me all about his interests. I have an hour commute home for the bus. I would say his is 45 minutes, so for 30 minutes he talked about his interests. Hentai and furries. Who does that to a person you just met? For the rest of the year, I had to listen to him talk about the history of Germany to anyone who would listen. Most of it was either wrong or not quite right, and all of it centered around World War II. Plus, he went on and on about this anime called Italia, because it is about history of countries or something. It took everything in me just to bite my tongue and to turn my music up louder. The last big interaction was at the end of the year last year. The bus was full and someone took my seat again, so I had to squeeze in wherever, and just my luck, the only seat available was next to him, so I put my headphones in and tried to survive the ride. This man has the audacity to grab my earphone and pull it out of my ear. What the fuck? I shook it off, because I don't like confrontation, and our conversation went like this. So, you are German, right?
Yes, I am.
What is it like in Germany? Oh, I was so happy it was a normal question. I got quite excited to answer it, but before I could, he continued. What are the girls like in Germany?
They're like any other girl?
I always wanted a German girlfriend. Fuck, they're so sexy with their big boobs and long purple blonde hair. Plus, I've seen German X-rated videos. They're into some kinky shit. I could only gape at this. I truly did not know what to say, so I started with something simple.
Well, we are not all blondes. I'm not a blonde.
I have dark brown, almost black hair. It is short as well. Well, that is because you're probably a mixed breed, not pure blood German. Did this dude really call me a mixed breed like I'm a fucking dog? Even with the look of disgust on my face, he continued to talk. You have the tits though. I don't like the short hair. You look dykish. But if you grew it out and dyed it blonde, you'd be the perfect German girlfriend. I continued to stare at him.
I beg your pardon?
Do you like Italia? There's this female version of Germany, and if you dressed like her and roleplayed a not safe for work roleplay, I think this could work. By this time, we have passed a few stops, so some seats are empty. I grab my stuff and sit in the farthest seat away from him, reeling over what just happened. To this day, he still tried to talk to me all about the stuff he wants to do in our roleplay, and I just try to avoid him as soon as possible. I wish I wasn't German.